So here's how they're going to start the war in Iran. This was from the Washington Institute for Near East Policy, How to Build U.S.-Israeli Coordination on Preventing an Iranian Nuclear Breakout, with Patrick Clausen. Here's Patrick Clausen. He's going to tell you how we get into wars. Here we go. Ready?
I frankly think that crisis initiation is really tough.
Oh, God.
And it's very...
Crisis initiation is really tough. You know, starting a fucking war. It's hard to do it right.
hard for me to see how the United States president can get us to war with Iran. Which leads me to conclude that if, in fact, compromise is not coming, that the traditional way of America gets to war is what would be best for U.S. interests.
What would be best for U.S. interests? That's how we get to war.
These
what?
guys?
That's the old school way, is worrying about our actual interests. We got a whole new fucking thing.
These guys? Does he know what he's talking? Like how evil he's talking? He's talking about just concocting a bullshit war that will kill innocents and millions of civilians, and American men and women are going to come home in fucking flag-draped coffins or with prosthetic limbs, or the 22 vets a day that fucking kill themselves from PTSD for these. And he just talks like it's nothing. Like, what we need is find a way to fuck puppies. We need to fuck puppies in a an American way that brings us the kind of joy that only an American fuck puppy can have. Like, he's evil. It's fucking evil because he's in a suit and a Ted Koppel fucking haircut that just weaves around. His neck's not even straight because he's so fucking evil. He's eaten so many children.
But Graham, you have to admit that Americans are the best at fucking puppies.
We're so good at it. Fucking high five.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
USA. USA.
Who knew? All right, you just
Come
said
on,
way
who's
too
with
far.
me?
Where's Brownie?
Laugh at that, it's funny.
Who knew Jeffrey Dahmer had a brother? So here, he's going to tell you how we get into war. Here we go.
Some people might think that Mr. Roosevelt wanted to get us into World War II, as David mentioned. You may recall we had to wait for Pearl Harbor. Some people might think Mr. Wilson wanted to get us into World War I. You may recall he had to wait for the Lusitania episode. Some people might think that Mr. Johnson wanted to send troops to Vietnam. You may recall he had to wait for the Gulf of Tonkin episode. We didn't go to war with Spain until the until the Maine exploded. And may I point out that Mr. Lincoln did not feel he could call out the Federal Army until Fort Sumter was attacked, which is why he ordered the commander at Fort Sumter to do exactly that thing which the South Carolinians had said would cause an attack.
See, that's how we do it. Lincoln did it. It's okay, you guys. This is what I do. What's the problem? I look like Ralph Malph, and...
So if, in fact, the Iranians aren't going to compromise, it would be best if somebody else started the war. One can combine other means of pressure with sanctions. I mentioned that explosion...
Who's he looking at? This motherfucker keeps looking at
Adderall.
What the fuck is he looking at? Like...
He's looking out for CIA behind his back. That's what he's looking for.
He's looking at Sheldon Adelson in his wheelchair right next to him.
So here's how we're going to get in.
We could step up the pressure. I mean, look, people, Iranian submarines periodically go down. Someday one of them might not come up. Who would know why? We can do a variety of things if we wish to increase the pressure. I'm not advocating that. But I'm just...
I'm sorry. He said he's not advocating.
I'm not advocating.
But I'm not advocating that. That's something. This is what the mob does. You know, Jimmy, it'd be a real shame that money you owe me if you fell down a flight of stairs. You know what I mean?
I'm just saying.
You know, your mother's got a nice house over there on Long Island. It'd be ashamed if it burned down, if you know, what I mean. I'm not saying it should, but...
You know what's awful is when a hammer just automatic out of nowhere just busts a guy's kneecaps and you don't know who did it.
We don't know who did it.
Jimmy, submarines go down, they come up, they go down. Maybe it doesn't come up one time. Who's to say? Act of God.
So there you go, and they're getting. And by the way, the Democrats are very pro-war too. They're not your savior, right? They all voted to give Trump's a madman. Let's give him some more bombs. Okay, that's a good one. So here is Michael McFaul. He says a democratic Iran not only would free Iranians from oppressive theocracy, but produce closer ties between our two countries. Real security, economic, moral benefits for both Iranian. He's saying let's go invade their goddamn country like we did Iraq and Libya. We're doing it in Afghanistan and Syria, and everything will be better. These guys are fucking psychopaths, yet they're held up. That guy is going to be brought on MSNBC, and he's going to be introduced nicely by a guy with a fucking pocket square. I'm telling you. And here's Bill Kristol. Very true. He retweets him. Bill Kristol says, very true, and great to see a bipartisan consensus for regime change in Iran.
Wait, he's never been wrong, though. I mean, he knows what he's talking about.
And let's remember who gets killed in wars, right? People get killed in wars. Not the leaders of the countries, but the people. And here's what Anthony Bourdain said. He said, Iran was mind-blowing. My crew has never been treated so well by total strangers everywhere. We had heard that the Persians are nice, but the nicest didn't see that coming. Please make sure you're subscribed. Even if you think you are subscribed, there's a good chance you're not. So please check. It only takes a second. And then click that bell. And that's how you know you'll get a notice every time we drop a video. They still won't notify you every time we drop a video, but that's the best we can do. Plus, if you like the show, you want to support it, please become a patron. We give you hours of bonus material every week. And come see a live show. Go to jimmydorecomedy.com for our live schedule.